you can land a really nice Magnet Storm engage, that is a great way to just straight up win yourself a team fight. And a lot of the time into this misfortune, we've been seeing the Braum that can just shut it down.
Maybe they would have left both of the AD carries to continue collecting the farm, but early scrappy fights, Kalista and Misfortune, definitely pretty darn strong at this early stage. Steadfast Presence already used to block some of the entry here, but Hung has to deal with Saber, who's now forced to flash over the pit, as now Jung is running amok onto Mohawk, who's completely separated from the team. That's first blood going over to Ultra Prime, and the rest of OMG, maybe they can find a scrap for themselves here, as Rosie Love forced to flash backwards, but the rest of OMG, they're not really getting much out of this fight. They didn't get most of the grubs there either, just one at least for themselves.
That kind of damage, it always feels a little bit risky. Oh boy, I feel like I've seen this one before.
Well, let's see. Jung doesn't have flash this time, so it might be an easier time to land the slam. And you know what? Leading with Keeper's Verdict, definitely an easier execution there on the top dive. Well played by OMG.
Makes it significantly easier to play that one out, especially when you then don't actually have to land the heroic charge. Potential here for this top lane matchup to begin really swinging, because you get a massive wave push right under this tower. Going to force that teleport out of Jiang because he has to blow it right here. And now you're going to have so much more map movement available to OMG very soon. That second teleport is going to be back up and available for Harry.
Below 50% HP, trying to regen using the power of that red buff. Junhao just going to already go in and try to secure one of these grubs with the Smite combo and the Permafrost. Nicely done. And now for Ultra Prime, if they can get one more grub, they'll at least have access to Void Mice. But so far, OMG, they can count their ultimate abilities that Ultra Prime have already used, and they feel pretty confident being able to secure the last two, and it goes pretty even. And Moham just using the crash down over the wall. Public execution for the engage on the Hung, but he slams him into the wall, and the damage from Harry and Hung is enough to really put Jung into the ground. And now Ultra Prime gonna have to be careful, because here comes Lin Feng looking for another engage. The flash charm hits the piggy, and here is the Magna Storm to pull him right on back. Pop Blossom is going to stop the engage though further, and suddenly OMG are realizing, wait a minute guys, we went way too deep. And here comes Ultra Prime for the counterattack, and they got 2 kills off the back of it. Remind ourselves that the stakes of this series are not the most existent. I think it can kind of shed light on how and why these teams are being super scrappy, as Harry might have overstepped his welcome here. Junhao just waiting patiently for the Jace to overstep and try to get that crash onto the wave. And unfortunately, as both you and I know, Bloxer, anytime a top laner is trying to crash that wave so he can get the bounce back, that's an easy target to pick up.
Massive line to success for Ultra Prime. They're also going to move over onto this Drake right now. No real response, so they should be picked up relatively easily. They're going to get tower, though.
Yeah. OMG. Oh my goodness, Hong. Okay, it's okay, guys. It's you know, we're limit testing game 1. You know, that tower was nowhere close to killing Hong.
Is going to put themselves in a great spot to be able to pick themselves up that. In fact, if Ultra Prime grab the next big neutral objective, that will be that. Junhao, though, going to get jommed.
And he has no flash, no way out. The bullet time, man, guys, I think that was overkill. I think you already had him, but you know what? It's time to send a message, OMG, netting a big kill onto the jungler there.
It's just so... Oh, hang on. Actually, they're not going to let this go without
They don't want to let it go, but Moham hits the sickest Magna Storm ever. Public execution does not really connect, but it doesn't matter because Waka's got enough damage in the back pocket to take out Moham, but now they have to deal with Hung and Starry, who are now leading the charge. Lin Feng, charm flash right onto Wako. They slam him into the wall. Beautiful combo between the OMG mid and jungler. They turn off the Rift Herald as soon as Ultra Prime were trying to challenge them, and they showed them that was a big mistake.
Just get charmed up. Gonna go down very easily, and I feel like that's gonna be the story of this one.
Yeah. You know what? Once again, I am proven wrong, thinking that OMG would have enough time to be able to contest Ultra Prime for that Rift Herald after the recall, but you know, thankfully for them, they lost 2 members in that fight, but the sacrifice was not in vain, as Junhao has enough time to take the Rift Herald off the map while everyone was resetting and redeploying back. So this does put Yeah. You know what? I'm sorry, Ultra Prime. I was not familiar with the game. I'll try to respect you for the rest of the series and from now on. But at this point, 18 minutes into the game, a couple minutes before Otacon does spawn. I want to check in on some of our kind of individuals that we're hyping up so far. Linfeng was having a little bit of a quiet game up until that last fight where he was able to really shine as... Hold that point. Weaver's Wall for an attempt.
It hits.
Uh-oh. Well, Moham, I don't think you're getting out of this one. No flash available. It should just be a couple more rocks. Good night, Moham. As we check back in, you know, Linfeng having a pretty quiet game on the Ahri.
But it's going to come through. Immediate TP going to be called, but you are ADC-less for this one still. Atakan takes a long time and does a lot of damage, so you are going to be hit as Ultra Prime.
Junhao. Be quite miraculous if you could get in the pit,
Yeah,
but it doesn't look like he's not even going to take a chance on it. Wako signaling to the rest of OMG and confirming their suspicions that he was not with them on that play. Securing the third dragon for themselves, and it puts them at Cloud Soul point.
Secure that soul.
Yep, and it will force OMG to actually respond to them instead of just giving over one last dragon over to the side of Ultra Prime. Now, for those that didn't catch it, there was an engage made by Junhao onto Starry, and it was an immediate Captain Jack cleanse right on the dot from the Glacial Prince.
Junhao, a lot of damage taken.
Yeah, really good charm onto Junhao, and even though he's not in danger, he loses a lot of HP. Good slam onto the wall, and Jung. There's the CC chain. The bullet time rips through. Good night, top laner of Ultra Prime, and now with the numbers advantage, OMG might feel a little bit more confident about pushing forward. Wako is next, and without a marksman, I don't think there's any hope for Ultra Prime in the remaining parts of this fight. Saber gets caught out. There goes Rosie Love, and the Cloud Soul is denied by OMG.
And that's what OMG were looking for when they started up the Baron. They draw out a couple of the key ultis, manage to just about survive, and the second that Ultra Prime step up just a little bit too far, they lose out on this Drake that they've been angling towards so heavily, and they're likely going to lose the Baron for it too, and Drake off the back of it.
It definitely felt like watching a case of dominoes there from the side of Ultra Prime.
Push going on. We've got through the mid lane and the bot lane right here for OMG. And it doesn't really feel like Ultra Prime could step up very easily at all to clear out these Baron empowered minions.
And that threatening flank from Moham just gave me the biggest sense of dread.
Powered cannon minions in the bottom lane not lose themselves that inhibitor tower yet, but the mid lane tier 2 does fall, and this is a huge swing off of this power play. 2,400 picked up so far, and they've only just about gone through half of the Baron buff at this point. The pressure continues. Oh, good engage. I like it.
Right onto Hong, but he's super tanky, and the Keeper's Verdict is going to punt the front line away. Rosie Love with the Pop Blossom, but there's no real follow-up that they can go for, and Wako gets clipped by the charm into the bullet time. Good night, Marksman, once again, and Linfeng still has the Spirit Rush, so he can safely escape over the wall. OMG get a decent amount of damage on that pod turret, but now no one's really defending the mid lane, so Linfeng and Hong turn their attention towards the mid inhibitor tower. This inhibitor should fall quickly short next, and Ultra Prime down without a marksman means that this base defense is just that much harder.
Yeah, I don't know that they're going to be able to hold on to this game for too much longer. At least not going to lose right now. Potentially a little bit of a wasted teleport.
This impeccable lead now that they have for themselves. Almost 10,000 at 30 minutes. OMG might not let me have the chance to talk about it, though, because the flash from Junhao still makes sure that he is clipped by this Magnetstorm, not able to escape from the engage. That charm actually went through a clone. Unfortunate for Linfeng, but he still has a couple Spirit Rush casts to see if he wants to go forward even more.
Base. They're going to lose this inhibitor tower, likely the inhibitor to boot, and now it's so tricky to try to actually leave your base. Hang goes in.
There's the slam from Hung as he tries to find Saber. Immediate flash to respect the engage, and at least postures himself defensively to be able to hold the line here, but all three inhibitors have now been taken here at Bloxer, and that means you're going to have double super minions pouring through the base. Bullet time was used to rip through the minion wave. Rosie Love, one last Hail Mary attempt for a re-engage, but doesn't really find any kills right off the back of it. Hung is just too tanky and survives the onslaught of that counterattack. Linfeng going forward, buys some time with the stasis, tries to Spirit Rush backward. Maybe there's a chance for Ultra Prime to really capitalize, but they've got to deal with all these minion waves first.
Advantage, and cast your eyes down quickly to the kill death. No deaths on any of your main carries.
Hung, and I was ready to kind of throw in the towel and be like, this is my impression with the guy for the first split, but he has really pushed the gas forward and set up a lot of the tempo for this game, and he's already continuing the charge with Linfeng as the Magnetstorm comes in for the follow-up. Bullet time is so beautiful as it just eviscerates the entire squad of Ultra Prime. 5-0 ace here, Bloxer. That's a clean ending for game one by OMG.
It is, and in the end, 33-minute domination right here for OMG. It felt very close for the first 10-15 minutes.
And at least Ultra Prime now have non-committal engage with the Maokai ultimate, because other than that, this Yone, if he ever commits Fate Seal without using the Soul Unbound, he's into the backline and he's not getting out.
Right towards the Drake. It's an Infernal. Why not? You'd be giving up some free stats to not just be able to take this one. And Zyra is one of the better champions at being able to just take that one completely solo in a reasonable amount of time early on, using those plants very effectively. As you can see right here, doesn't even lose particularly much health to it. Hung is going to be able to pick that one up for the team. Helps towards the feats as well, up as many of these objectives. That being said, let's have a fight now potentially around these grubs.
Junhao not going to underestimate OMG's ability to contest with these grubs. He already smited the first one, so Hung gets the smite on the second one, and then everyone backs off from Ultra Prime, so it is 2 grubs to OMG, 1 to Ultra Prime.
These objectives, and it feels like Ultra Prime kind of in no man's land, because they've got Lingfeng sat beneath them. They aren't really able to just set themselves up in a good position right now. They're at least going to have to walk into this one late.
Mohammed's, or I should say Rosylove, throws out the ultimate for the engage, but here comes the counterattack, and this is what happens when you walk into Zyra plants and a Stranglethorn. You just get blown up, and the rest of OMG completely punish Ultra Prime. Yeah, they were able to net 1 grub for themselves, but it's still 4-2.
Available to them, and it made that play a heck of a lot easier. Right now, though, they're going to look for a potential dive. Rosylove is in the area, though.
Tries to spot out OMG's dive before it can really happen, but Saber might still be in trouble as Rosylove. All he can do is just W1 target where the Stranglethorns locks down Saber, gets the Fate Seal, but doesn't get a chance to finish the channel because he gets denied and deleted off the map. But here comes the counterattack. Ultra Prime trying to punish the overextension from OMG. That's 2 kills going over to Wako. That's 3 total for Ultra Prime as the turret ramped up a lot faster than OMG were bargaining for to the ramping turret shots, and the rest of the frontline members fell very quickly. Lin Feng was the only survivor of the casualty on that top dive. And Ultra Prime now have the map to be able to secure the second dragon for themselves, but maybe a pick here from OMG. Rosylove could get caught here. No flash available. A couple more auto attacks and a Mystic Shot is enough to do it. The Stranglethorns is what secures the dead tree.
Right there to be able to pick up a kill onto the support. Still, there isn't really any big objective spawning. I'm getting jumped, though. He's just dead.
Yeah, good collapse there from Saber and Junhao. Just a 6th sense to be able to wait for Zyra, thinking that Hung was safe in that situation, but just the quick roam up from this Yone.
2v1, buying a lot of space for his team to be able to start this Herald.
Yeah, and the fact that OMG were not able to get to this pit first, they don't get a chance to set up those plants for Hung, which is where a lot of the difficulty comes for Ultra Prime to try and contest them. But the fact that they have Prio, they're the first ones in there. Rift Herald is theirs to claim. OMG going to try to use this time to see if they can get this tier 1 turret. It should be possible. However, the counter engage from Rosylove puts a stop to their tracks, and Hung had to throw down the Stranglethorns just in fear of Ultra Prime being able to collapse and get a couple more picks there.
Yeah, stepping up. Potentially was trying to look for a cask to split these members. There are quite a lot of low health members, and with the Herald charging into the mid lane, this could turn into a fight. There it is!
Flash cask and Hung, no flash. That's an easy pick for Ultra Prime. Well sought out by the top laner of Ultra Prime. They're going to continue the charge. There's the Fate Seal that locks down the Crocodile for another pick too. And Ultra Prime, if they can continue racking up picks like these, this is still a winnable game for them.
1,000 for Ultra Prime, and with the mid lane turret down, they've got a lot more space on the map to really try to play around. Minute until the next Drake, minute 50 until we have Atachan spawning. This is a crucial time in this matchup, especially for Ultra Prime.
They lead the charge here, and it might be a successful dive here. Lin Feng's got to be careful, though. It does not want to drop any deaths this early on, and the punish from Saber with the Q3 finds the baby dragon, which then could bleed into the Otacon setup as well.
Exactly, and dying, losing your flash. Oh, hang on. Moham,
potential re-engage from Moham. Oh, look at the damage from Starry. True Shot Barrage layered right on top of the CC. It's a 1-for-1 trade, but Moham going down for Saber, I think that's something that OMG will take any day of the week.
Couple of minutes. With Ultra Prime grabbing this Drake. Atakan 15 seconds away from spawning, more than enough time to be able to take this Drake and get up towards that lane. But do you really want to start this one up immediately? I think that would be incredibly risky out of OMG. I think both of these teams are going to have a little bit of a struggle with actually taking the Atakan here.
To really capitalize on Ultra Prime overextending.
I think the key thing for that, though, is you really don't want to start it up first, because Atakan hurts. He hits like a truck. Oh no, this could be a big pick.
Flash Death Charge and the flash follow-up from Harry. This Cougar is going down. That's a big shutdown going over to the pockets of Starry.
Protect him. If you can get enough space to just be able to sit and hit, this champion does so much damage. Harry getting chased away from this tier 2 tower right now. I love this play from Ultra Prime. Just decide, snap play, go pick yourself up a ton of gold. Ultra Prime, they're going to start it up here, but I really don't know if they can actually finish it off.
I mean, they're trying to force it because they saw Hung clearing the minion wave mid, but they have to be careful. This is Smolder at his best. He has the execute available, and Saber already knows he needs to get the hell out of there. Fate sealed already to disengage, but he goes back in for Starry, looking for that Q3 flash, forcing Starry's own flash to respawn. But Ultra Prime, they've run out of engage tools. They have to be playing on the retreat. And now OMG, they're playing for this Otacon, but Linfeng is chunked to below almost 80% of his HP, so he has to be very, very careful. Still has the flash, but this sapling is going to push him out of the tri-bush, and the Otacon is still at 4k HP, and Junhao is in range to try and smite steal this away. 2600, and it regens, and I think that's what OMG want. Just let it reset. They still have an overall health advantage, but the flash body slam onto Harry, and he goes down thanks to the burn of Junhao's Liandry's Torment, and I think that's enough for OMG to realize that this fight is probably lost, but the Otacon resets once again. Maybe if Hung can be a hero, but it's gonna be so hard because he has no flash. He would have to walk up and just, you know, pray for his life that he's able to smite steal it away, but I don't think anyone from Ultra Prime is gonna let that happen.
And Feng has actually reset and is just walking back into this one. Is going to rejoin with some extra damage in his back pocket and a full health bar here.
Oh, the explosive cast doesn't put it back. Hung, does he secure it? Oh, it's a little too early. It goes over to the hands of Junhao. Now OMG have to run for the hills. But Junhao has the power of that GA, so he has full confidence to just try and jump in and clear as many kills as he can. But Linfeng will clear one of the GAs thanks to the power of the execute. He's just going to tangle with Wako, cakes him out. Look at Linfeng popping off on that baby dragon. He's not a baby anymore. But here comes Zhang. Body slams him into the tower, but he still lives thanks to the power of the grass. Procky, oh, he stepped on a trap.
No!
Oh, Linfeng, oh no.
Screen from Graves and Ultra Prime. Now they smell blood in the water. They are not going to stop. They turn straight onto the Baron. There's going to be absolutely no response whatsoever.
He had autoed it. So shouldn't he have known that it was there?
He tried to step around it. He misjudged how big the hitbox is. You can see from his character movement, he's trying to step around it, and he accidentally gets a little bit too close.
A comedy of errors from the last few seconds of that replay sequence, but Ultra Prime reaped the benefits, taking that Baron right off the back of Linfeng's death and the fact that Hung was still off the map. They get the third dragon for themselves as well, and now they're making the siege happen. Dead. Rosie Love! A good night, Rosie Love. Maybe, you know, a sacrifice worthy and won't be in vain as it gives Ultra Prime the window to siege onto that tier 2 turret, you know.
Up at the moment, Ultra Prime having a great time of it at this point. 5-0-4. For Waco specifically is huge. Not being able to kill a Corki at any point means that he's just sitting there.
Yeah, if we harken back to any Smolder performances, that JDG game that OMG had could have been a turnaround from OMG had the damage thresholds had been met. I'm trying to wait for objectives before they can really set up and force OMG to play into them and try and get that punish down. Zhang actually has found Linfeng, but he's got friends on the other side of this big gap wall. Moham, can he get a chance to try and collapse on top of him? He was trying to teleport out. You saw that he was kind of pincered there, but no chance as the CC chain comes in through.
They catch him.
This could be the domino theory once again. As soon as one piece falls, the rest of Ultra Prime try to collapse and bail out their members, but Saber does get saved thanks to the power of the heal. And the rest of Ultra Prime able to save the remaining members here, but it's still a 4v5. Moham was chunked in the exchange, but he can always redeploy back on the map. But now they turn, seeing Harry was isolated from the rest of his team. Maybe it's a chance to find one back as Linfeng gets the execute on Rosie Love.
By himself, bait in OMG potentially to a fight they can't win. Instead, lots of pings going on around the Baron. I don't think OMG are actually going to start this one. Idea that something's going on, but they are struggling to actually get vision in the pit.
Yeah, they've already used the True Shot Barrage to poke out for the first time. The Explosive Cast is just going to buy some time. Starry tries to get some vision, but it is secured cleanly by Ultra Prime. They are doing a decent job of holding the line here, but Wako gets one moment to push up into this inhibitor tower, and it's ripped to shreds, and now this inhibitor is exposed, and this is the first pieces for Ultra Prime to start trying to close out this game. Moham taking so much damage off the back of a Q3 plus a spear from Junhao.
Pushing through multiple lanes has made it a little bit easier for Ultra Prime to actually be able to get close enough to these towers to hit them, and now it feels like OMG, they're going to have to put a last stand on. What can they do?
You can see that Jiang was angling for a cast, which already prompted the flash from Starry. Did not want to get caught and potentially lose the game for OMG. Dominus popped by Harry just to absorb a lot of the damage that was coming in with the poke. There's the cast. John punts in Moham. That's the first kill. Stranglethorns doesn't really do much as Saber finds Linfeng, and no Smolder means no worries for the rest of Ultra Prime's days, at least in this second game, because the rest of the threats of OMG have been perfectly neutralized. Hung is doing the best that he can, but it's not going to be enough. Ultra Prime strike back in game 2. I'm not going to lie, Bloxer, I think this is the first time, out of the gate, I really like what Ultra Prime have drafted for themselves, just off of first impression alone.
Pretty much once again, Junhao loves to look for these early dives top.
Does he look for the Q flash? Oh, it's the counter strike that guarantees the stun.
Oh,
and nice try by Harry to try and flash away and get another odd attack on Jiang before leaping away, but not enough to outplay it. And first blood is awarded to Ultra Prime. Well, with each power spike, whereas Vi, yeah, you know, she gets more durable, but a lot of her damage is really just single target burst and some decent survivability, but nowhere compared to something like the raw power that Wukong brings as later the game goes on. So Junhao being able to not only snowball that top advantage and first blood into a little bit of extra combat stats.
Oh, maybe not. Junhao actually perfectly happy to just walk away. That really does surprise me. One of the reasons you go and take that Drake as quickly as you do is because it means you've got it out of the way, and now there's no trade needed. You can go and fight for the grubs. At least take one. Stop them getting a mark towards the feet.
The only thing I can think of is Junhao and the rest of Ultra Prime trying to get some early aggressive vision on these next rotation of camps that's spawning on the red quadrant. And so Junhao, not wanting to waste too much time, immediately goes for the second dragon spawn, while at the same time Hung does go and complete the second rotation of grubs. And I have to really chime it in for the rest of the audience at home, Bloxer. The fact that you brought up that OMG are now going to have 6 grubs to themselves. They have a Gnar. They have an Aurora. These are champions that can really make use of 2 Void Mites crashing into your turrets. And if your win con is banking on a Soul, however, Ultra Prime are trying to match that pace and look for first brick of their own on this top side. And I think it's just going to go over to Ultra Prime because we're not getting any indication. Yeah, not even close.
Delay onto those waves. Yeah, there it is. A little bit of a replay right here, exactly what we're talking about, and it means that sure, you lose the tower, but later, and that's to the team with the 6 grubs. Clearly, so far, Ultra Prime's decision to not go towards the grubs is working out for them.
I should say. The third dragon getting started up by Ultra Prime right now. And they're going to see if Jiang can just survive the 1v1 or the 1v3 under the tower. Solar Flare right on top. There's the CC chain, and they break the tower. Wako teleports in alongside Saber, and Jiang actually survives long enough.
What?
The dive! Holy camole, this is not good for OMG. Linfeng is going to try to salvage the play here.
Wait, do they
Maybe
all live?
This bullet from the curtain call finds Mark. How'd that happen?
They obviously get the Drake as well, something they've been very much wanting, and now we're going to get another scrap, this time around the Rift Herald. Ultra Prime, they have the fast track towards this buff, and it doesn't really look like OMG know how to get into the pit. They don't have the Gnar in the area either, and without Harry, that's a lot of your engage just missing. That, but isn't in a particularly advantageous position. So it's going to be tricky to play these team fights out.
Yeah, Ultra Prime gonna try to push the tempo of the map even further. The Rift Herald doesn't necessarily knock out the tier 1 turret in the mid lane. You're in a, you know, not to, man, I have to say it, to be in a pretty prime state for this dragon as Rosie Love with the engage. Junhao's gonna follow up and Moham might be in trouble, and the flash unfortunately, I'm sorry Moham, but unfortunately Zenith Blade doesn't propel you forward, you know? That's the problem with Leona. Once you're in for the long haul. You're not getting out of that one, brother.
But still, do they really have any response? No, instead, OMG are finally going to get themselves a Drake, but this is great out of Ultra Prime. I love it. They set themselves up like all they're going to look for is these Drakes. We have to go for the Drakes. OMG, they don't want to give over Soul. Finally, they have to go respond. But the second that they do, they're going to lose out onto this voracious Atakan. And this is a big buff for Ultra Prime, and I don't think they mind having to wait another 5 minutes for the Drake. As long as they get the Soul at some point, I don't mind the way that they've played this one out so far.
Yeah, and I want to go back to something that, you know, you mentioned. Oh, wait a minute. Moham, the Hex Flash got interrupted! Solar Flare's gonna try to stop them in their tracks, but he's got no way out. Oh my goodness.
Nobody really dies there. You do lose Rosie Love, but like you said, only into the GA. And this is so tricky for OMG. They have to at least wait for the Voracious Atakan to fall off. I don't think full engaging right now is a particularly good decision. That being said, OMG, they don't care.
Yeah, Hong wants this full send in and try to see if they can burn any more GAs or at least take a kill off of Rosie Love, but forced to flash away as the re-engage from Ultra Prime puts this monkey back on the backspinner, and Zhang is able to punish, being able to dunk him with the lamppost, looking for another one. That's a double for Zhang, and the rest of Ultra Prime, I think they lost a couple of members, but remember, these are Otacon GAs being expended, so they don't lose much, whereas Ocean Dragon is spawning once again, and it is their sole point. This time, they are in position to contest for it. OMG, I'm gonna try to match them. Harry has stacked up the Mega Rage Bar. He's in Mega form. Can he get the Wombo combo? Saber's already popped. Lin Feng throws down the Between Worlds. There's a lot of decent burst damage, but Wako is still alive, but the rest of Ultra Prime's front line is falling. Zhang, you're gonna have to pull off a miracle. Pops the stasis. Can he get something done with the counter strike? Looking for a leap strike, but he's just CC'd in place. Forced the leap strike back to his ally. Story flashing in. There's the last bullet. Doesn't even need it. It's just a couple of the normal bullets that takes out Zhang, and it's only Wako alive to defend the turret, but the rest of OMG, they've only lost one member. They're going to take their chances with this Baron.
And this is the issue with the Ultra Prime composition. OMG, they want to straight up front to back, and Lin Feng, after what has been a very quiet game up until this point, all of a sudden pops off. That was a gorgeous ulti out of the Aurora, and you're going to be able to turn this one into a Baron as well, potentially even into the next Drake if you want it. Giving over the Soul would kind of suck, but I think they're just a little bit too low health.
Not ideal from OMG, but they've got the Baron buff, and remember, they got 6 Void Grubs, so if they can just try and delay Ultra Prime from being able to defend these turrets in the mid lane, or just go for an outright pick, that's a 5-on-4. We'll see how well Ultra Prime can capitalize on this. Zigs. There's the combo right into the back line. Starry is going sent back to the fountain. Lin Feng, how much can he pull off and try and salvage this fight? He just gets blown up as he throws himself right into the minefield of Wako. And here comes OMG trying to just run for the hills. Ultra Prime really clowning the rest of OMG for just letting them have that Ocean Dragon and set up properly for a fight.
And this, I think, is kind of the issue we've really been running into with OMG. You highlighted it just before these sets of plays started happening as well. A little bit overeager, trying to get aggressive. They clearly were following my school of thought, you know? Giving over Ocean Soul sucks, so we must go and fight right now. But they managed to find a great fight previously, and as you'd mentioned, Baron, 6 grubs. You can just try push through these waves.
They get really a fast pick onto Rosie Love, but it's the re-engage all week. We're back to live. Another re-engage. Junhao leads the charge, and he's still surviving through the onslaught of the burst that OMG had for them on the way in. And the fact that Starry gets popped in the initial round means that Ultra Prime clean through the support as well. They have the numbers advantage, 5-3. We're going to see how much they can get done on the map.
Series. They've very much been focused on pushing down one lane at a time. It works. They are still going to be able to pick up this tier 2 tower in the bottom lane. In a decent chunk of gold down, 6,000. Not massive for this point in the game, still doable, although there we go again.
And then once again,
Oh
if Jin
Lord.
steps up and is in Vi range, then it's just so damn easy for them to set up the combo for a Mega Inferno Bomb to just be smacked right on top of the sniper's head. And Hung can only do so much just to survive.
And end this one out. Only 2 members remain. It's a very hard base defense, and the fact that the inhibitor spawns buys them a little more time, yeah,
A little more time, but Harry is still under fire. Goes Mega. Linfeng buys some time with the between worlds, but I don't know how much time that's going to actually buy. Moham respawns.
Yeah,
Wait a minute. Ultra Prime. They're not going to get a chance to end the game yet. Here comes the curtain call. There's no GAs. Can he find any targets here? But it looks like the last curtain call bullet is not going to go through. There's a teleport. Harry's just going to try to cut them off with the flank. Yeah, this is super scattered. Junhao is going to try to lock down Harry. He might have overextended for that play. And Zhang is just handling himself just fine in a 1v3. Here comes Wako once again with the bombs. And I mean, OMG, what else could you have done? They're down gold. They're desperate for a Hail Mary play. And unfortunately, it's just cheese side down on the griddle. Ultra Prime. 5-4-0 ace. They're going to push this last minion wave in. They're going to go up 2-1 in the series and put themselves on match point.
Ultra Prime, what an impressive look from them.
Wave carrier themselves, Linfeng will be piloting the Orianna, and because Ultra Prime managed to save their counter pick for the mid lane, Saber's choice into this Orianna is going to be the Syndra. Starting to run through the jungle with sweepers. They're actually going to find out, my mistake, OMG didn't actually drop wards, but they're going to go for a delayed invade now. And Junhao is forced to start on the wolves, and if Hong suspects this, he's going to push them off, and now this is potentially for the makings of a very scrappy level 1, but Junhao gets the smite on the wolves, and Starry had to flash away from the hook shot. They have to turn on to Wako. Might be forced to pop their own flash, gets away from the decimating smash, and OMG, they're burning a lot of summoner spells, but they're getting corralled, and if they don't play this out well, they could get absolutely cheesed. Here they go! Hook shot flash on the multiple members by Ultra Prime, and OMG just got completely outplayed. Maybe they trade one back, but they're committing forward onto Linfeng, and it's just complete disaster. Ultra Prime, what an opener to this game 4. Earlier, that hookshot flash, ooh, that was money. And speaking of money, Harry might be in a bad place. Junhao follows the flash with his own to land the Tempest into the crippling strike, and it's just too damn easy for the Ultra Prime top jungle duo.
Yeah, and there's not even any follow-up right here. Harry not going to be able to use that zombie form to any good effect. And the way that this early game has gone makes the rest of this game so very interesting. We were talking about how OMG, they needed to just allow this game to happen a little bit, get some items onto your Jinx. You can be proactive through Hung and try to get into these lanes and get some ganks off, but that's not the way we were exactly talking about. Oh, that's an unfortunate way to have walked right as Hung arrives.
Yeah, Wako doesn't have flash from the level 1, and at first, if you don't succeed as OMG, you persist through and try again, and try to capitalize on any missing summoner spells. And for Ashe, as you said, that is unfortunate way to find out. Him choose and decide where they should be playing for on the map, and let Rosie Love and Saber be the ones linking up with him and following up on the plays. This is what could happen right now, as Junhao baits them in, goes back in with the Sonic Wave and the Resonating Strike combo, and when you have the mobility and the flexibility of the Lee Sin to just push and pull these fights, Ultra Prime are just in such a winning state in the first 6 minutes of the game.
Yeah, they are on top of this one massively, and I really don't think that it's likely they're going to be, put behind too much at this point. They can keep this pressure up. They've got the sort of composition that can just keep themselves ahead. Don't really need to worry too much about conceding map pressure right now to OMG.
Young definitely has to respect it a little bit. Oh, they were looking for Linfeng. Rosie Love with the Cocoon Flash. Barely misses, but here comes the collapse from Zhang. He's level 6. That's the Hexa ultimatum, and Hung is going to have to rely on the rest of his members. Wait a minute, Linfeng with the Shockwave over the wall. Buys a lot of time for Hung to survive, and now Rosie Love is on the wrong side of the tracks here. OMG, able to really dissuade and just completely outplay this fight around the grub fights. Now, Rosie Love will die eventually, because there's no way this spider's going to get out, but solid win here for OMG.
And is to Starry, not ideal, would have liked to have that kill go over to Harry potentially there. Towards the top side of the map, it really unlocks these grubs to you a little bit more. But right now, whenever Ultra Prime are stepping up and trying to make these fights work, they're just using the early lead that they've got for themselves and trying to push that advantage, exactly what they need to be doing. Fung, if he steps a little bit too far towards the bottom side of this map, there's still a potential for a ward hop. Yep, there it is!
Woohoo! Kick flash! Right
gorgeous.
into Saber's full combo. He didn't even have to use the Unleashed Power. It was just the Scatter the Weak stun. That was gorgeous, Juno.
Otherwise, that would have been one dead little spider. Still, they're going to have to step back a little bit. They know they're under massive threat at this point. Might be a couple of turret plates lost too if you're able to push this wave through fast enough.
And Saber's trying to be careful to not overextend himself into vision. Hung has got to be careful too. He jumps onto Rosie Love, the flash backwards. The Glacial Fissure tries to break open the collapse from Junhao, but he should have the damage. But Hung buys enough time with that Crescent Guard. Now surely they should be able to get a trade in, but Harry is teleported in, walks in front of Junhao and slams him into the ground with the non-stoppable onslaught. The flash over the wall trying to follow up on forward. Here comes the resets, and we taled about it before. Starry has the potential to take this game over, and that's a way to do it 12 minutes in.
Pick up. That being said, it looks like it's still going to be Ultra Prime able to pick themselves up these grubs. So not the end of the world. It's not the full lead throne, although we may get another skirmish here.
Junhao down a smite. Hung still has available, which is why he's not trying to put any more damage onto the grubs. Scatter the Weak momentarily stuns Hung, and now Junhao trying to reposition for a collapse here. Here comes the teleport. Oh, that was weird. Shockwave just pulls him in, and good night. I don't know what the hell happened to Jung. Junhao going to try to salvage the play, find Starry into the back line, but Hung is able to get revenge for it, and now it's all up to Ultra Prime to try and push OMG back into their jungle. Smash, but maybe it was just the teleport particle. I don't know. Unfortunately, Jung got completely smashed, and Saber might have overextended his welcome. No Unleashed Power. Yeah. Just stayed a little too long on that wave, and OMG are there to punish. Where we can collapse, and if it wasn't for that top lane teleport collapse from Harry, I don't think Starry gets all those reset kills. I don't think Hung lives as long as he does, and you know, it's a completely different game where, you know, Ultra Prime might have been a little too complacent or resting on the laurels of, you know, how well the level 1 fiasco went on in terms of their way, and now we're back to an even game state. In fact, one where OMG are starting to pull ahead now.
Arrow coming in, does manage to tag, not exactly onto the member you're hoping for, and the tower gonna fall anyway. Ultra Prime, they continue to lose more and more. They at least get the Herald on the backside of this fight.
We're just going to teleport back to the top side of the map, try and threaten the tier 1 turret on the top side, and that is third dragon of the game, going over to Ultra Prime.
Yeah, I think potentially OMG spent a little bit too much time trying to engage, could have been pushing a little bit further topside as well. That being said, maybe they would have drawn a bit more of a response if they'd have done it then. In the end, they managed to trade that Drake for the tower. Really not the end of the world either way, but it is 3 Drakes picked up right here for Ultra Prime.
Up the top, minion wave gets it pushed in. There's a ward that's propped over the wall, so they have vision at least and know that it is happening. A teleport is coming in for Ultra Prime. Junhao, can he find a miracle steal here? 4,000 HP. They've got vision on it. He's in there. There's the shockwave and knocks him up. Junhao is gone, but here comes the rest of the collapse. Ultra Prime try to find their target on the Starry, but he steps back on up. And here comes the resets. They secured the Otacon, and the GA is going to give them life here to come back to the map. Ultra Prime managed to knock out the Otacon GA and all 5 members, but they lose 2 in the process. OMG, they get into the river. Maybe that's all that OMG wanted. You know, not the most ideal engage, but they don't really have any other engage tools. Maybe this Glacial Fissure. Well, we'll see. Oh, wait a minute! That's the shockwave delivery system we were talking about! Tried, true, and simple. Gets the job done, and no Wako means no Ash Arrow that's going to be coming through anytime soon.
There's no way they're going to keep trying to fight this one, right? Surely Ultra Prime just have to turn around and walk away. They're still trying to poke out. They're still trying to deal just about enough damage. No, really, the Junhao's going to be able to get in to steal this one. He might actually be given an opportunity.
I mean, you can see Jung wants the pressure for Starry. He knows that he doesn't have summoner spells. Rosie Love is going to dive on in, but they're getting bursted. The kick flash right into Saber isn't enough. Just one more on attack, but it doesn't have enough damage. Starry survives. Just ripping through auto attack attacks one at a time. Saber just did not have enough cooldowns and enough bursts on the damage that he had available.
Fallen behind, you've got a Jinx who's up by 3,000 gold, and it feels like it's going to be almost impossible for Ultra Prime to win this one. If they can't get a big pick, that could be it.
Connects onto Lin Feng, and there's the ward hop, and the shockwave hits no one since he was sent flying through the air, and the teleport. This could be sheepish. Thankfully for Harry, he's a big tank, so he's not going to go down that easily.
I think if I was Ultra Prime, I would want to go for that Baron. It feels like you're in the sort of situation where you kind of just need to flip it, but at the same time, that was the Enchanted Crystal Arrow engage that we've been asking for, that we really wanted to see for Ultra Prime, to be able to find those picks before the team fights to get themselves a good situation. Lin Feng did have the flash available, didn't even use it. The flank pull off at all, and now we've got Drake spawning 50 seconds time. That will be sole available for Ultra Prime. Mountain as well, that would do wonders for their teamfight ability, having that extra shield.
Yeah, and if they can just make sure that OMG don't get set up to do and rip Baron.
Now the Drake is going to be started up by OMG. Ultra Prime, what's the response? Because it can't be nothing.
Yeah.
It might be nothing.
I hate to tell you this, Bloxer, but it might have been nothing. I think they got a crab.
Yeah. Has really taken a lot of the wind out of the sails of the awesome flank. This, though, pretty cool.
Hey, what is this? There's a flank, and Saber might be compromised here. The immediate flash from Hung trying to capture him with the 3-talent strike. Incoming, Super Mega Death Drunk, and that's the power of the full lethality. Jinx, he just destroys Saber off the map at 50% HP, and no Syndra means this Baron is ripe for the taking.
It's just going to be a trade of Baron for tower, unless, of course, we can get a great steal right here from Junhao. It would be so cool. He's done it before.
4,000, 3,000, 2,000. He's in!
He got it! Oh!
Oh! Savior for Ultra Prime! You said it at Game 2, Bloxer. We've got a series on our hands, and Junhao is delivering on that promise.
Big flank teleport. We've been talking about big flanks. This one is massive. Oh, if he can catch. Oh,
Hung
this
is
is perfect.
compromised. Wait a minute, Hextech ultimatum, and there's the Ash Arrow. It's gonna stop OMG from being able to play without their jungler. This is big. Ultra Prime, is this enough to carry on forward? Here comes the teleport for Harry. They've lost Rosie Love, but they haven't lost their jungler, and they just need to burst down this dragon. One Jung trying to heal up off of this Raptor camp, and that could expose Starry and Lin Feng on this backline. They don't have Hextech ultimatum anymore.
Harry's
Saber's
so
in trouble.
massive.
That's a flash forward. Junhao tries to go in and save it. They haven't even gotten close to burning down this dragon. They've got to be careful about how they play. This is a shockwave pulls Junhao as he was trying to go back. Good kick right through the back line, but One Jung has taken out Starry, and now he can save this fight. Junhao, good flash over the right side of the wall. It's just Lin Feng, nail Lin Feng, and there's no more damage in the rest of this composition from OMG. Ultra Prime are playing it so damn well. They rip through it with Lin Feng trying to rip through one and saves it for now, but Harry is gone. The rest of Ultra Prime have saved the game, and this Mountain Soul is their prize to claim.
That team fight was a mess. Back and forth, back and forth. This game is ridiculous. This series is ridiculous, but...
Hang on. I think we're just going to have to roll right into the setup for the Baron. Junhao already scouting ahead into the bottom side of this river. Rosie Love looking for a flank. Maybe if he can try and pincer onto Starry. Remember, no summoner spells onto Starry. He's taking up a lot of damage. Baron is secured by OMG. The Glacial Fissure knocks up Junhao. Gotta be careful and respect the damage out of this Jinx. But there's no summoner spells. If they can find a way to close the gap onto him, but Saber is caught! And that's the first reset for Starry, as they're going to try to use the movement speed to power on forward.
To be able to walk into that one, we're just trying so hard to find a way in. They had a little bit of a flank from Rosie Love, but nothing too big. And now, last stand potentially in their base. These champions shred towers.
Oh boy, Mountain Soul, how much can it save Ultra Prime's game here? Rosie Love tries to buy some time. Jung gets a lot of damage there, but Junhao gets blown up. There's the resets once again. And not even a Mountain Soul save, not even a Baron Steel save is enough to deny what OMG wanted to bring. A Game 5. We're going to Silver Scrapes, ladies and gentlemen.
picking Tryndamere when you've seen your opponent has Sylas already, because that's a heck of an ulti to give over to a Sylas. If he gets strong, nicks that ulti away and gets into the backline, what do you do? He's gonna look to go and get involved in another lane, and teleport early on gonna be used by Jiang. Now, bit of a risky situation.
Okay, we'll see if he can actually get his way. Nice little flash there to get away.
Oh,
as
this
he
is
hits
nice.
back hung. You also have Harry coming down here, so it's getting a little bit more dicey.
Oh,
Flash
man.
coming through. There's the CC stun, the Sky Splitter. It's going to get a nice shield. Moham tanks it beautifully, but Rosie Love tried to actually find a little bit of an angle. Won't find it. That's plates, that's first blood, and that's a lot for OMG.
No Blitzcrank in that lane, so why not just go and have that free 2v1? Oh,
Nice,
no.
they
Oh,
get him
man.
as the unsuspecting bear in the jungle is going to fall to Rosie Love of all people. And this is where you're falling prey to the speed of Lilia's clear.
A lot harder. Starry is the easier target to try to pick up, most certainly. With all of this shenanigans going on in the top lane, it opens up plenty of space down bot side for Hung to go ahead and try to pick up this Drake. Hextech Drake, one of the best ones to get individually. It gives you just stats that everybody loves. Everybody loves being able to auto-attack and use abilities a little bit more. I really think this series is going to be any different.
I don't think so either. Gonna go for the early smite there just to make sure they can get one for Ultra Prime. I am interested now that we're getting level 6s for these solo lanes. If we're gonna get a big influence of that here, as Rosie Love has made it over. Moham immediately flashes, gets the hook there, and unfortunately Linfong just ate that one. And Saber picks up the kill. That's the least one that you want to have the gold on if you're OMG.
Now, OMG, they decide that they do need to contest for these grubs, but they don't
Wow.
bring enough members over, and they don't approach the fight in stages of the game, and that was a Cassante with
There's
a
a big
Spectre's
bear
count.
coming.
Yeah.
It's like watching Jurassic Park, except with a bear, giant bear. You just feel the rumbles. He immediately turns around. He's like, "Oh goodness. Well, we're gonna go with some Alco Gaming here. Can you get away from the bear?" As there's a little bit of a flamethrower behind him too. I don't know. That's an unfair combo, but it is Cassante. So bring everything you can against this guy, as Harry will take him out. We get a little bit of a 1v1 under turret in mid lane.
Just been talking about how the Tryndamere steps
Yeah.
up onto the tower and is melting them in the face of the opposition. What, 10 minutes into the game? Well, imagine with 6 grubs available, it's going to be getting that much better.
Oh, that's gonna be insane. I mean, that's like perfect situation
Yeah.
for Ultra Prime when they drafted this comp. As it will be a second dragon. TP gonna come in. Ooh, little early hook there from Rosie Love. Lilting Lullaby is gonna be sung sweetly here as they want to go in under turret.
Oh,
They're
Harry.
tanking the turret. Nice double stun. And Ultra Prime are coming away with everything.
And they're going to pick themselves up all of the kills, most of this tower
Run
as
away,
well. And
Linfong.
Linfong,
Here
that's
for
going to
Ultra
be
Prime.
the tower. Yeah, there's no response right here. That is going to be the feat going over to Ultra Prime. They've managed to pick themselves up 3 kills and first break very early on into the game as well. And in terms of starts you want to game 5, Rosie Love does have to flash away to make sure that he doesn't die to the tower, but it's a small
Oh.
price to pay.
Jiang going under turret here with the all-out. Moham had to flash. And now we get the
dies.
Void Seeker combo. One more auto and Starry still strutting his stuff.
A little bit over-aggressive, potentially. This is now the second time we've cut.
His damage, my god, it's 13 minutes and he's gonna get even more plates there as we do get flashes on mid lane. Nice combo, and OMG, they're cooking. Oh god, somebody's got to finish him.
Oh,
They
okay.
used the Feather Storm to finish him off. Linfong now getting chased down by the rest of the members of Ultra Prime. He does have a lot of mobility, but I don't know if he's got that much mobility. Swirl Seed connects and he's slowed down. Jiang gets the kill as now Saber takes another turret.
Yeah. This is Tryndamere. Like there's any real response from OMG. They're kind of just letting this happen.
And maybe, oh, Saber waiting in the wings. Realize there's 2 people walking this way. Not necessarily going to take that fight there. But they are repositioning around this dragon side of the map. OMG said we might not get the Rift Arrow, but we want to at least get something and go ahead and start it up.
TP.
Okay, we'll see if they actually get a little bit of a flank going here. If they want to take the fight, Moham does end up using his Grand Interest to get away from the fight there. And the dragon will reset. So, Ultra Prime, they get their cake and eat it too.
Yeah, this is a problem for OMG, and this is something that I feel like is a part of why this team has very excited to watch this player coming into this series, and so far have not been disappointed. It's been a real catalyst for the big plays have happened for Ultra Prime so far in this series. Rift Herald now going to come down mid, not going to be ridden, still going to be able to pick up that tower, and that's another tower gone, and also there's a push going on top lane from Saber. It is at least going to be responded to, but you can tell already.
Quarter down now, getting closer and closer to half health. Starry looking to step up. Linfeng still has a massive flank here as Ultra Prime aren't really moving. That's the dragon down to Ultra Prime. The big quickness on top of the equalizer. Blade Caller right back though as Junhao makes it out of wave. Linfeng with that flank. Starry finding that huge angle with the killer instinct. Now Saber, it's his time to shine.
Saber.
He's trying to go reckless, but he can't do it. He just gets the one, and OMG, they're making it look like game 4 all over again.
Harry, brilliant on the equalizer, lands it across 4-5 members in that fight, and it means that everybody from Ultra Prime just has to take the Drake and scatter, or backing him off, I think, to be able to take this turret, and this is what you really need to do as OMG. They lost a ton of turrets early on. They didn't have the map pressure. Well,
okay.
It's Atakan. You still get 200 gold, so it's at least it's not that bad. Blow them up. The 4v5 obviously much easier to play out.
Dude, how cool is it to see though that Starry is just stepping up for OMG, right? Like being able to see this guy just step up 2 games in a row like this has been so impressive. And OMG going to be happy with some of their dealings here as they go under turret. Big lilting lullaby. That's on to 3 members. Blade Caller right back. Junhao is trying to get damage down, and now you got a big follow through as huge damage on the Moha. More bodies are falling. Yeah, Khan might be at your side, but Ultra Prime are looking at Baron.
And this is not worth it. I've seen so many teams recently do this. Hey, we've got the Atakan buff. We might as well just go dive under tower, get the resets off. It's a quick recall. No,
they're running.
You're getting tons of gold over. They are going to make it back in time for this Baron, although it is burning through fast.
I don't know. I think Ultra Prime are really throwing it here if they go for it. They're just going to go for the split. They're going to go for the toss. They're going to go for the flip. And it's taken! Junhao takes those heads every day! And so Saber in a lot of trouble here. There's a big Blade Caller back. Flame Spitter's doing some work. Harry is cleaning up the back line. Xiong trying to finish off the rest of OMG, but OMG are strong together with a double kill from Harry. Xiong going down. One more flip, and it's Starry cleaning him up.
Right here, right off the back of OMG deciding to run it through mid and give up all of those Atakan buffs and the gold that comes with it. Ultra Prime, rather than taking that advantage that they've just been handed on a nice little silver platter.
There with Saber, they should be able to take that one pretty simply, and OMG will take that dragon.
Yeah, the Baron, 6 grubs, and the Tryndamere does result in very fast tower takes. Drake going over. Oh yeah, you don't want to step up right there.
I mean, Moham just kind of saved his life right there, taking a little bit of the damage. As Equalizer going to come down, they want to pull the trigger on the fight. Rosie Love trying to stop them from moving in. Look at Starry's angle. Starry looking good, but lilting lullaby onto 2. Linfeng distracting as they try to go for the backline. Hung is tanking like a storm. Saber trying to finish him off. He has cut the bear down to size, but look at OMG. They have cut Ultra Prime down to size. Starry flashing forward. Starry going insane and more. It's a triple kill, but it doesn't matter. Ultra Prime, they have been dusted. OMG continuously find fights off their phenom in Starry.
The combo off between Moham and the Equalizer. Now this, I think, is a potential mistake. Rosie Love grabs the volley bear into the backline, and
it's so much of a payoff to see him dragging them here with these kills, with these plays in the last 2 games. Now he's got to try to finish it off here as Baron already getting low. Equalizer going to be popped. Usually that's the sign that OMG want to go forward. Looks like Equalizer will be waited out by Ultra Prime. They have an angle. Quickness into the grand entrance, into the combo as they have everybody grouped up. Ultra Prime is actually doing a really good job of fighting front to back. Look at Waco. He's got a lot of distance, and the Blade Caller going to be coming through as well. Damage down. Starry is not going to be able to save them this time. Ultra Prime, we said this game is back and forth and back and forth, and we're rubber banded yet again.
Oh, that was the fight that you really needed to find right there as Ultra Prime. They're going to carry on, try to get the pick onto Harry. Really don't think it's likely he's going to be able to survive. Does a ton of damage, to be fair, but even with the golden, falls in the end. Ace right there, picked up for Ultra Prime. Now, I don't think they can... Ooh, can they end?
Big
30 seconds, 6 grubs.
6 grubs.
They might be able to.
This is where past Ultra Prime is saying, yeah, I got you, baby. Let's go. They are murdering these turrets. They are murdering these structures. Moham, the only one coming up. They should be able to defend this one. Ultra Prime, maybe they're feeling dancy. Maybe they're feeling antsy. Maybe they're feeling like they want to get in there as Moham trying to block them up, but they're just going for the turrets. They have one mind together, and it's to try to end this, but Starry comes in and just melts them down to size. No. Give him a triple kill.
Oh, such a mistake. Impactful as it used to be in the past 30 seconds.
Nexus to Nexus.
There's no way.
Oh
if OMG pushed this through and tried to end, they might be making the same mistake.
Let's do it. Do it. If you're going to go down, you go down swinging, just like, unfortunately, the wave did there, too. Saber, and try to get a little bit of distance, but unfortunately dies. That's rough, though, because that's really staggered, and Saber is a massive part of your team, just trying to save some time with getting that wave. As now OMG have their eyes set on just what Ultra Prime was doing a few moments ago under turret. But guess what? They turned the towers off because Hung is a monster. The monster has come to town. OMG, that's a big blade caller, but weight goes down. The turret's still going. They're changed up and they are killing them. But Starry have help there. The Ocean Soul is so massive right now. They're going to be healing so much, and all that's left for Ultra Prime is one last defense. OMG, are they going to feel just as amped as they were just in game number 4? They're trying to go for the fight. Lilting Lullaby back from Lin Fong. Anything you can do, I can do better, OMG says, as they look to take the final neck and the final head of Ultra Prime. What a finish to this group, and what a finish for OMG. They will finally win their first series.
These were some of the best highlights from today's matchup. Which moment was your favorite? Let me know in the comment section below. This is OP, and I'll see you tomorrow. Take care.